Welcome to Film Therapy, the unofficial, unlicensed movie podcast. Hello, welcome to Film Therapy. Today we are talking about the 1986 classic Highlander and its 1991 sequel, Highlander 2, The Quickening. My favorite line in Highlander 2, The Quickening, is when Virginia Madsen says, "What the hell is The Quickening?"
Oh, my favorite line is shithead.
Oh yeah, farewell, dear shithead. That's my other favorite line. that would be my favorite line if the movie wasn't called The Quickening and Virginia Madsen is like, what the? That would be like if in Terminator 2, Sarah Connor was like, "What, Judgment Day? What the hell is Judgment Day?" What's funny because I swear they use the same font for Terminator 2 and Highlander 2 for the titles.
Yeah, that's a good.
On the posters. I think they're
good
both the same year.
there.
I think it was also 91.
Or comparison, yeah.
Terminator 2. Terminator 1 was 84 though, so there's a bit of a bigger gap. But there's less of a gap in the story because Terminator 2 is, I think, 7 years after the first one, and Highlander 2 is like 40 years after the first one. Anyway, we're going to start with Highlander. It came out in 1986 and stars Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery and Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
It is my cat's favorite movie. It's the only movie that she will sit down and watch with me in full multiple times. And so the movie was already one of my favorites. And I love it more every time I watch it. But it has a special connection because it's her favorite movie too.
Is she there with you still?
She's right here looking up at me like, Jack, what are you talking about?
She knows.
Yeah. She's probably just thinking, why are we talking about it and not watching it?
We're talking about your favorite movie, girl.
And we're still the only ones in the house who have seen it, so it's not a movie for the baby yet. But Emily and I can watch it.
So I remember my first introduction to Highlander was my high school teacher and one of my friends talking about it in class, and she kept quoting like, "There can be only one," and so I decided to watch it way back when, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, Highlander, all right," and then I didn't revisit it until you started talking about it. And how many Highlander things have you watched?
I've seen all 6 of the feature films.
Oh,
I have not
my
watched the
gosh.
TV show, even though Christopher Lambert is in the pilot. So I want to watch it just because he's in it.
And what is the TV show?
The TV show is called Highlander.
From whenabouts?
The early to mid 90s, I think.
Okay, because they're making a new series, Highlander, with Henry Cavill. I think I'm gonna watch that though because I love the concept of it.
I think I'm definitely gonna check it out because Henry Cavill, not the biggest fan of his Superman ventures, but that's because of the writing. That's nothing to do with him.
Pshaw.
And he's great in Mission Impossible Fallout. So I don't know if I see him as Connor McLeod, but it's kind of hard for me to see anybody besides Christopher Lambert as Connor McLeod because it just feels so iconic.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I don't really like Christopher Lambert. So I'm definitely okay with Henry Cavill taking his place. I'm all for that.
I respectfully disagree. I forget the full quote. That's a friend's quote. I can tell you the context, but I can't tell you the scene around it. But anyways, which movie do you want to summarize the plot for? The first one or the second?
Oh no, please no. This is all you, brother.
Okay, well, we had an episode a little while back where I described the entire story of these movies. So I hope I might be repeating myself a little bit, but I think I can confidently re-describe the plot.
Okay.
So Highlander is so the movie has 2 different stories going on, and it weaves between the 2 of them through many different scene transitions. But the first story that's going on is in Scotland in the 1500s ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's about this Scotsman named Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, and one day he is killed in battle along with many of his fellow men by this man named the Kurgan, played by Clancy Brown, who is also the main prison guard in Shawshank Redemption and is also the voice of Mr. Krabs.
Whoop whoop.
Which is amazing. So Connor is killed in battle, but he miraculously survives, and all of his clansmen and his girlfriend all kick him out of their clan and try to kill him because they think that he's using witchcraft, which was a big no at the time. And so Connor ends up wandering the Highlands for a while until he meets this woman named Heather, and they fall in love and have this cute little house together. And one day, when they're just spending time together, Sean Connery shows up on a horse out of nowhere and says that he is an immortal, and so is Connor, and he starts to train him in the ways of swordplay, and teaches him just how to be a good swordsman, and teaches him about the ways of the quickening and the prize and the gathering and all of these great terms. Teaches him how to connect with nature, how to be a better man, how to deal with being an immortal man.
He's kind of like his sensei, right?
Yeah, he's very much like his sensei. It's very much like the Mr. Miyagi and Daniel San, or like Rocky and Mickey, kind of.
Or like Kung Fu Panda and...
Oh, what's his name?
Mishu? Mishu? No. God damn it.
But yes, also like that. It's like Poe and God,
Master Shifu.
Master Shifu.
Master Shifu. Poe and Master Shifu. Yes.
Yes, Poe and Master Shifu. So then one day the Kurgan shows up to their house. Sean Connery's character is named Ramirez, by the way. So one day the Kurgan shows up to their house and kills Ramirez, and Connor stays with Heather until she dies of old age. And then he leaves his sword at their graves, burns the house down, and takes Ramirez's sword with him, and just wanders the world for 500 years, almost 4.5 centuries. The other story that's going on in the movie is set in 1986, which at the time was the present day, and Connor's still fighting other immortals, because the battle is still ongoing to gain the prize, which none of them know what it is, but they just know it's something. And then the gathering is about to happen, and the gathering is when all the immortals are summoned to a certain place in a certain time. So at this time, they're all summoned to New York, and there's only a few of them left. And then there's also this forensics expert named Brenda. So Brenda's played by Roxanne Hart. So she after one of Connor's battles in a parking garage, she's called to the crime scene, and she finds his opponent's sword just in the garage up in the rafters where Connor hid it. She's into antiques and such. So then she goes to this antiques dealership that Connor owns, and tries to figure out the whole history behind the sword. And she ends up finding out his history, and they fall in love. But the Kurgan is approaching. He obviously wants to kill Connor and claim the prize for himself, which would be terrible, because if the Kurgan gets the prize, then the world is basically doomed, because they'd be under his rule. So they just gotta duke it out, and I think that's a pretty good summation of Highlander. There's also some police stuff going on, but nobody cares about that.
Okay, very good. My notes for this one, most importantly, I don't think Heather was probably a name that was around in the 1500s. Just saying.
Okay. That's your big takeaway.
That's my big takeaway, yes.
Focusing on things that do not matter. Has nothing to do with the story or anything.
I think the production was bad. There was bad sound and sound mixing. But I love the premise of the story. That's why I'm intrigued about the Henry Cavill series. Mm-hmm. Because if they could do it well, I would be yes.
They did do it well. That's this movie.
Ah! Okay, wait, so the series based on Duncan MacLeod?
Yeah, so the series is about Connor's cousin named Duncan, and he's played by Adrian Paul. And the show is about him, but Connor appears in the pilot, and it's Christopher Lambert again. And he and then one of the fourth movie called Highlander Endgame, yes, that's the actual title.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
is about both of them. And we'll maybe at the end we'll do like we did with Terminator, and I'll just tell you the plots of the other movies, because that was kind of fun to do. and then that way you don't have to
Yeah.
watch them unless they
Yeah.
sound interesting to you. Because
Nope.
maybe
Please
one of them
do.
would be
Please.
better
No, give me it.
for you.
Give me it all.
Okay. Yes. So just so you're not confused, the show is about Duncan, but he's another clansman of Connor's. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I found it hard to immerse myself in and really pay attention. I guess because it's kind of like actiony whenever it's like a battle scene or a fight scene, car chase. I just completely check out. I'm like, it's time to look up something on Pinterest for my recipe for tomorrow. I did have a favorite scene though.
Okay.
Was when he and his old friend reunite and reminisce about the last time that they had a pint. And then the Highlander had a duel with that guy, and he kept killing him. And then his squire kept kissing him. That was great. That was great. I love like the silliness of these movies.
Yes,
The silliness actually made me laugh. Like that's the only part that I was like, yes, I enjoy that.
See, I feel like this movie just does such a great job, for me anyway, it does such a great job of getting you immersed in the characters, in Connor's thoughts, and in the story, and like every time it switches from one story to the other, I'm always like, man, I want to go back to the 80s, or man, I want to go back to him training with Sean Connery in Scotland. And like, just, I think the transitions are just so impressive, like how they'll go through a roof in the 80s, and then it pans like up through the dirt in the ground in the past. And I just really appreciate that aspect of it too. Like the only thing I really knew about the movie was there can be only one. And so when I watched this for the first time, like it just had this whole like aura of mystery of like, okay, like I know it's about this guy because he's like in the past and in the present and stuff like that. But the way that like it unfolds and tells its story in the non-linear way, I think is really unique. And I think that this is the only one of the series to really effectively do that, because it does it like all the way through, because the first like 2/3 of the movie are going back and forth between the two stories. And like I said, like for me, they're both just like equally engaging. Because you kind of have this like epic, like beautiful, like period story. And I'm not usually a fan of like story set like that far into the past, but this one, I think it just because it's more about like the characters and like the settings, like just kind of the backdrop, like it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like a very like intimate story, despite the fact it also feels so epic and on such a grand scale at the same time. And then the 80s is just like this like grungy 80s thriller, which I also love. And the fact that it combines this like epic medieval fantasy with this like grungy 80s kind of tone, and it like meshes them together like in that way, I just think it does that really effectively.
I do love that. Yes.
And then also the Queen music is one of the best movie soundtracks
the Queen
ever.
It was amazing. That was also one of the best parts, was the Queen soundtrack. Thank you Queen.
Thank you so much. Like, there's kind of a misconception that the song Who Wants to Live Forever is more about like Freddie and him having AIDS and not being able to live forever, and knowing that he's going to die fairly soon, like when his condition got pretty bad. But I believe it was Brian May who wrote the lyrics for it. And it's obviously like all the songs are made for the movie. You know, it just sells the emotion of the scene so well too. Yeah,
absolutely. When did Freddie die?
Ooh, I think it was like a few. I don't even know if he was diagnosed until.
91. Okay.
I was legit going to guess 91, and I'm like, I think it might be the 80s, but which is the year Highlander 2 came out. So
right. Okay, so 86, they were just like, hell yeah, Queen is the shit. Let's get them on the soundtrack. Yes. Which is kind of like eerie in a way that, brilliant.
Every movie should have Queen.
Right? I think Freddie's legacy, well, obviously their music will live on forever, and I think that's kind of like what that song is too, and I just love it. When people ask each other, like, who would you have dinner with, like, alive or dead?
Mhm.
I would choose Freddie Mercury.
I love that.
I love him so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually I recently saw Jukebox the Ghost band. They opened for the band called Lawrence, and Jukebox the Ghost was their opener, and they did a cover of Somebody to Love. Because the lead singer has a really like Freddie voice, which is really cool.
That is amazing.
And he plays the piano the whole time. Oh, he's so good. It's a special thing to come by, that type of voice and talent. So it was cool to get to see like someone portraying that live.
Absolutely.
But so yeah, that was definitely one of the best parts of the movie for me, was the soundtrack.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did they play a Queen song in the second one?
They did, yeah. When Connor
Okay.
goes into the bar, they play "It's a Kind of Magic" again.
Okay, because I was like, I think that sounds like Queen, but I don't really recognize the song.
Yeah, it's the song that's at the very end of this movie during the credits.
Ah, okay, cool, love it.
One thing I also love too is with the sword battles. They had like electrical cables connected to the bottom of the swords, and it was like running down the actors, like through the actors' clothes down to the ground. So that whenever the swords would like hit each other, they would make sparks, and that just makes it so much more cool in my mind.
That was like real special effects?
Yes, that was real.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was the 80s. It had to be real.
Right.
No CG yet.
That's awesome. Oh my god. Think of how, would you be sketched to do that? Like, alright, so I'm holding this metal thing, and when it touches the other metal thing, we're gonna spark, but hopefully I don't get electrocuted. I don't know.
Also, Christopher Lambert does not have full vision. I believe he's definitely partially blind, if not like mostly blind. And I think that also just makes it more impressive.
That's cool.
From a technical standpoint.
So like even back then, like his vision was bad?
Yeah, it was really bad. Bingsley has been pacing around and asking me to pet her because we're talking about this movie. So.
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
You should put it on the Instagram post.
I should. Well, I saved it, so I can't.
Bingsley's favorite movie. All right. Okay, so want to move into Highlander 2?
I do, but I want to give you this trivia first.
Oh yes, please.
So all of Sean Connery's scenes were filmed in a week.
Oh my gosh.
Him and Christopher Lambert got along so well during filming that they called each other by their characters' names when they weren't filming, and it was at Christopher Lambert's insistence that Sean Connery returned for Highlander 2.
Aww. They do have great chemistry.
They do. They're the best part of the movies. So how they did do the sword was they attached a wire to each sword that led down the arms of the actors to a car battery. One was connected to the positive terminal and the other was to the negative terminal. And then when the swords touched, that's how the arc happened.
Oh my gosh.
So it's even crazier than I was talking about.
It sounds so dangerous.
It does, but it was the 80s. After the scene in the church, Clancy Brown apologized to the priest and the nuns for his dialogue because he was afraid he'd offended them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would probably do something like that too.
After they signed the contract with Christopher Lambert to play Connor, then they found out he didn't speak English at all. So he spent time with a dialogue coach so then he could develop an accent that sounded like it's foreign, but you wouldn't know from where, kind of thing.
What did he speak? Where's he from?
He's a Frenchman, I believe.
Really?
Oh no, he was born on Long Island, but his dad was a United Nations diplomat assigned to Switzerland. So then he lived in Paris for a while.
Interesting.
And then I don't know if I said this yet, but Russell Mulcahy, who directed both these movies, also directed the third Resident Evil movie, Extinction.
Just the third one?
Just the third one.
Do you like that one more than the other ones?
No. I like it more than some of the other ones, but it's one of my lesser favorites. Okay. Those are mostly Paul W.S. Anderson films because he directed 1, 4, 5, and 6, and he wrote all 6 movies. But no, I think the first 2 are better, and the next 2 are better than 3. But 3 is not the worst one, because the worst one's the last one.
Okay.
I love the voiceover opening with Sean Connery in this.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown was so intimidating that some of the crew refused to go near him.
What?
Yes. Which reminds me of in It when kids wouldn't go up to Pennywise. They wouldn't go up to Tim Curry when he was in the Pennywise makeup because he
Oh,
was legitimately
okay, that's
terrified.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Neither would I.
No, neither would I. I wanted to ask you what you thought of the scene or of Connor when he finds Rachel as a little girl and kills the Nazi during World War II. Because I
Ooh.
love that.
Yes, very powerful. Love that one.
That just makes it
because
even
that's like
cooler.
if you're like if you could go back in time, yeah, of course I'm gonna save someone from the Nazis, or I'm gonna go back and kill Hitler,
Yes.
or it just kind of is a satisfying, fulfilling scene.
The scene where Brenda goes over to not the scene where they have the first date where he goes to her apartment, but the scene where she goes to his apartment and then there's that shot that's like spinning around the room with like all his antiques and stuff, and then he reveals to her that he's immortal, and the Michael Kamen score starts. It's the score for Who Wants to Live Forever. I love that. I love that scene so much.
Oh, nice.
Because it obviously mirrors his scenes with Heather. When they play the actual song. But then there was a piece of the score that they tied into the Queen music, which I think is just I love when movies do that, like when the song is in the score.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it's kind of a battle between score or soundtrack.
It's both.
But
Always both.
If they have a cohesive mix, and it's wonderful.
Also, Sean Connery was drinking a lot on set when they were filming, which makes it even better.
Is he still with us?
No, he passed away in 2020, I believe. Yeah, October 31st, 2020. So he was 90. So it's been about 4 years, which is so sad.
Oh, Sean Connery. May he rest in peace.
Yes. Other than James Bond, Ramirez is the only role that Sean Connery has played more than once.
Huh.
And then the part when the Kurgan has kidnapped Brenda and he's driving down the road like a maniac and he's singing New York, New York. I love that. It's so cheesy. I love it. And then also it's like what I want to do is put audio over that scene of Mr. Krabs singing bee boo 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 bop when he's like driving down the road. And then Maddie, I don't know I'm sure you've seen this movie, but if you haven't, there's a moment in Ricky Bobby, in Talladega Nights when he's talking to Sacha Baron Cohen, and he's like, it's just like Highlander. And he's like, what's Highlander? And he's like, it's a movie. It won the Academy Award for Best Movie of All Time. And then I watched, I don't know which one I watched first, but once I had seen, I think I watched Ricky Bobby before this movie. I'm pretty sure. So then watching it, I'm like, hey, Ricky Bobby was right. Like, this movie's great. And then there's the later part when they're racing down the track and Sacha Baron Cohen is like, I watched Highlander. It wasn't good at all.
I forgot about that. I think I've only seen Talladega Nights in full, like maybe once or twice. Yeah. But I love Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Everyone in that film, like, I definitely want to watch it again, especially living here in North Carolina, Mooresville, Race City.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I should definitely watch that again.
That's great. I think I've also only seen it once, but I love it. And I want to see Will Ferrell's new movie. It is called Will and Harper, and it's a documentary about Will Ferrell and his friend Harper, obviously, and they go on a cross country road trip.
Like an actual documentary and not a mockumentary?
Well, IMDb says it's a documentary, so.
Okay, all right.
It comes
I'm
out
here for it.
Comes out on Netflix.
Oh, this looks, yes.
Oh, it's already out.
Okay, I might watch it tonight.
Honestly, yeah. I'm probably gonna watch Highlander, but that looks really good too. Yeah, so I think we covered pretty much everything for the first movie. I mean, I could sit here and talk about it for another hour, but that would just be for a commentary, like over the movie itself. I'm not a fan of when sequels undo the endings of the first movie, and obviously the sequel does that. But I do really like part 2, which we'll get to. But I just want to say real quick, I really love the ending of the first movie. And I love that the prize is that he ends up getting to be mortal, but he can also hear other people's thoughts and he can still communicate with Ramirez. Like, it feels like such a complete ending. They really didn't need to make any sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to Highlander 2.
Okay, Highlander 2. What are the two different versions of Highlander 2?
Well, if you don't mind, they all have the same plot. So I think I want to describe the plot first. And then we can get into the differences. So Highlander 2, The Quickening, was released in 1991, and it is set in the year 2024. So the first movie...
now!
Yeah, the first movie ends in 86. The second movie begins immediately. It's like the year's 2024. And it's like, what the fuck? It's amazing. It's amazing. So Connor has lived a mortal life, and he is near the end of his life. However, he receives message from beyond the grave from Ramirez, who reminds him of his origin 500 years ago on the planet Zeist. So before the beginning of the first movie, when Connor was living in Scotland, he and Ramirez were apparently living on this other planet called Zeist, where they were fighting this other evil guy, bad guy called General Katana, played by Michael Ironside, who is also the voice of Darkseid, and he's also in Sequest Season 3, where he plays this really awful character, and that's a big part of why Season 3 is terrible. No, that's nothing to do with the actor, it's just the writing of the character. But they're fighting this big crusade against General Katana, and most of their army is wiped out, and so they are exiled to Earth, where they will fight until one of them wins the prize, which is the first movie. So after the first movie, in the 90s, the ozone layer was getting real fucked up. So Connor using his powers that he got at the end of the first movie, he assembles a team of scientists of like the greatest minds in the world to create this shield to go over the ozone layer and protect the planet. And they were successful in doing that in 1999. But then 25 years later, in our current year, there's no sun, there's no stars, and the world has become a shithole, and New York is looking way worse in this movie than it probably does in the real world, obviously.
There's people just committing crimes on the streets everywhere.
Yeah, and they're just like huffing gas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think there's some sort of parallel to Zeist, but also like we don't see a lot of Zeist, so I don't doesn't really make sense, but who cares? This whole movie doesn't make sense. So then Connor meets this woman. Her name is Louise Marcus, and she's played by Virginia Madsen, one of our favorite actresses. Love her and everything she's in. Dune, Candyman. She's also in Maddie's least favorite movie, Sideways.
I'm sorry, Virginia. I love you, but I don't like the movie. Okay.
That's fair. I mean, Paul Giamatti's in the movie too, so
I like Paul Giamatti as well.
And I love all the actors because Sandra Oh's in it and Thomas Hayden Church is in it. It's just the story that's really bad.
For sure. Okay, I don't like Thomas Hayden Church. No, I don't like him.
Is it him? Is it him across all movies, or is it his character
across
in that movie?
all movies?
See, I like him in Spider-Man 3 when he's Sandman.
I guess because he doesn't really. Well, no, when he's Sandman, okay, but when he looks like Thomas Hayden Church, I don't like him.
So your favorite scene is the scene, the great scene where it's like all CG and it's like his introduction where he's just like CG made of sand, and then they slowly but then when they meld the effect with Thomas Hayden Church, you're like, okay, now
like,
now the movie's
no,
ruined.
no.
Hot take. I love Spider-Man 3. I've always loved it. It's a great movie. People should shut the fuck up about saying it's bad. People are
dumb. Who's saying it's bad?
The consensus is that it's bad, or the consensus was that it was bad for many years on the internet. People didn't like it because of stupid reasons.
I just picked that movie up out of a pawn shop. Classic.
I know, it's great. I love all of it. It's so great. I just feel like those movies do such a great job of making the action so story oriented that it doesn't just feel like mindless action. Like the third act of Spider-Man 3 is so emotionally driven because of where the character, because of how much we followed the characters.
That is so true. Thank you for saying that.
Like the movie is a bit of a mess, but at the same time, like the way or at first it's got all these moving parts, and you're kind of like, is this too many? And it might be juggling too many. But then in the third act, when everything comes together, it is so beautiful and so like profound, and it has one of the best finales any movie or movie series ever. I mean, I've wanted Spider-Man 4 ever since that movie came out, and I'm mad that we didn't get it. But at the same time, it's such a beautiful and perfect ending, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
completely agree. All right.
Sorry, I had to go.
We'll
on a
have to do
tangent.
Spider-Man sometime.
I mean, I just watched the trilogy like a few months ago because it was Spider-Man 2's 20th anniversary. But I will literally watch all three of those movies like in a row, like any day of the week.
I have them all now, so let's go.
I am totally down. There's people out there that their preferred like trilogy binge is like the extended Lord of the Rings or something. And that's all well and good, but my favorite trilogy binge that I can think of is probably Spider-Man, because they're so easy to binge.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're all great. Anyway, thank you for letting me go on that tangent. We'll have to talk about Spider-Man 3 sometime, because that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Highlander 2. Let me get back to where I was. Okay, so Virginia Madsen. So that's how we got to Sideways. So fuck that movie. That movie sucks. So there's a small group of people under this organization called Cobalt, and they believe they're kind of like the rebellion in Star Wars, I guess, because they believe they have evidence to believe that the shield that the ozone layer has repaired itself and the shield is no longer necessary. But there's corporate bureaucrats in the Shield Corporation that want to the main bad guy. John C. McGinley's the actor, but I forget the character's name.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but the
business guy
from Scrubs, the guy from
David Blake, I believe, is his character's name.
Okay, all right.
I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure. So he's like a corporate bureaucrat, and he obviously is like, no, we need the shield because we need to make money because the world sucks and this is the only way we can make money in this world. But Virginia Madsen's character, Louise, she's the leader of the Cobalt group, and so they initiate a run on the Shield Corporation headquarters to see if the ozone layer has repaired itself, and they find out that it has. But unfortunately, her entire team is wiped out, exactly like how Connor McLeod's entire team was wiped out, minus him and Ramirez 500 years ago. So cinematic parallels, there you go.
Uh-huh.
So then she approaches him at this bar where he's just vibing with the bartender and listening to Queen, reliving old memories. And she says how she used to be a big fan of his and how she used to admire how brave he was and like what he did for the world.
Because at this point in this movie, he's like 80 years old.
He's like a celebrity. Yeah, he's like 80 years old and everybody knows about him.
Right. Everyone's like, "Oh, Mr. McLeod, hello. Yes, you built the city." Okay. Yep.
And some people hate him for it, and some people love him for it, you know? So. Well, I love the fact that like it's such a decrepit New York, because I watched every single Highlander movie with a couple of my oldest friends, and we all agreed the movies are at their best when they're set in New York. Because if they're not, then the movie's no good. Which is funny, because when we get to the other movies later, that might contradict what I just said. But anyways, it was just a joke that we had. But anywho's, Virginia Madsen runs into Connor and tells him like how she used to admire him and how she's a big fan of his and all that stuff. And then at the same time, General Katana has been watching Connor for 500 years, this entire time. So he's been watching him the entire time that we have been watching him. And since Connor has won the prize, he has the choice of whether or not to come back to Zeiss. And Katana's afraid that he's going to come back to Zeiss right before he dies, so then he can overthrow him and take the planet back. So then Katana sends his two goons down.
His porcupine minions.
My third favorite line in the movie is when he and Louise are in the car, and she's like, "Who are they?" And Connor's like, "I don't know." And then the bad guy's like, "McLeod." And the way he says it is so fucking terrible. It's so stupid. I love it so much. And then Virginia Madsen's like, "Was that just a lucky guess?" I love this movie. It's so bad. It's so great. It's both. Like I love it very much, but it's also so stupid. Katana sends his goons down, these other weird immortal guys on hoverboards come down, and Connor can feel them through the quickening. Which I guess we didn't talk about the quickening. It's basically because immortals can't have children. They have the quickening instead, which is basically like the most powerful orgasm you could ever have. Like lightning comes down and radiates through your whole body after you behead someone, and it like and just these beams of light come through you, and the way the actors act it, it's basically like having an orgasm. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
So then because these other immortals are coming down, Connor starts to feel their energy, and he gets a cut on his hand, and his cut heals up, and then he realizes it's starting to happen again. So then him and Louise are driving.
What is starting to happen again? Hasn't he always been immortal?
Yes, but he's been mortal for 40 years. So once those guys come, if more of those guys come down to the planet, it will make him it will make him immortal again if he's able to kill them. So it kind of starts that process.
So within this movie and the last movie, if someone were to shoot him, he would be dead?
Yes.
Huh.
Until he becomes younger again.
Because the people from his realm planet come down, that makes him immortal again?
I don't know. It's again, screenwriting 101. His cut heals. So he gets a little bit of power from them coming, and he starts to feel the quickening, because that's when Louise asks him, "What the hell is the quickening?" Which is the greatest line in a movie called The Quickening.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. I love it so much. It's great. So then Connor easily defeats those two guys, even though he's much older. And then he calls on Ramirez, and Ramirez just appears in Scotland on a stage, and these actors are doing, I think, Hamlet or something, some Shakespeare play.
Macbeth.
Oh, is it Macbeth? Yeah, it's Macbeth.
Wait, hold on.
It's Macbeth. It's one of the two.
I gotta look it up now.
But anyway, Sean Connery's got no idea what's going on, and he's like, "What is the shithead?"
Nope. Yeah. No, you're right. Hamlet.
Oh, it is Hamlet. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, and then the actor calls him a shithead. He's like, "Oh, what is that?
What is a shithead?" And then, since Ramirez has been summoned, he slowly makes his way to where Connor is, and it's just Sean Connery vibing. It just feels, it just has this kind of like this wistful kind of
yeah,
feeling.
Innocence.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because since he's no longer with us, because the character comes back and has this short amount of like extra time on Earth, it kind of just feels. Even though this obviously isn't the last movie Sean Connery was in, it just feels like he just has this like kind of swan song kind of vibe to it, because especially seeing it after he had passed away, and that's really nice. I really like that.
Yeah.
Which I know isn't really what the movie planned. It just kind of has this nice little like, it just kind of has that now because the actor's no longer alive,
Right. Yeah.
And then while that's happening, then Katana realizes that his goons failed. So then he comes down himself in a train. He crash lands in a speeding train and drives it through the wall. And then he waits for Connor to come fight him.
That scene was crazy, gory.
I know.
Special effects galore.
Yes.
That was the craziest scene of the whole film, I think.
I love the part when he picks up the kid and he's like, I bet you always wanted to drive one of these things. Me too. And he goes, and it just opens the fucking the door to the, I don't know what you call it, like the front, whatever the front door of a train is called, like the not the cabin door, like the door to the end to the control room, and he's like, hi. He just like just throws the guy out, like the driver out, and then just like cranks it up, and then
yep.
And then it gets beyond stupid when it reaches the triple digits, and it's like 600 miles an hour. Like that's too much.
It's like, and people are losing their skin on their face.
I mean, that's great, but the speed, it's like, it's too much.
Like, what? Really? You're
it's
going
too
that
ridiculous.
fast? I don't think so. And you just smash through the side of the building.
Oh yeah. So then Connor has a hoverboard fight with these two goons. And the atmosphere just kind of looked, it's just kind of like Tim Burton's Batman or something.
which I liked. I enjoyed this scene. I thought the hoverboard was super cool, and enjoyed like the hang glider thing. Like, yeah, it looked like Batman. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know I'm telling this out of order, but then but what else can you do with a movie like this, you know? But then once he defeats the bad guys, Connor becomes a younger man again, and Louise sees him,
Which
and they have an instant connection. Because he killed them. So the fact I can't even do it without laughing. The fact that the fact that he killed one of the guys, that makes him immortal again. That part makes sense, right? It's just him getting younger that's confusing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did you really want him walking around with the gravely old man voice the whole movie?
No, of course not. So he's like, all right, well, you know what? Let's make him hot again.
Except what they should have done was kept his 80s look from the first movie, not his 1500s look from the first movie.
Oh, I don't remember the difference.
Yeah. In the 80s, he's got like the short hair. He's got like like more facial hair. He's got more of like grungy 80s kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, for sure, because he's got, I don't know, I just don't find him that attractive with his
long hair.
I googled Highlander, and all is coming up as a Toyota Highlander, which my mom has. All right, Highlander.
What's so funny is Emily was driving one day, and she was she saw this car, or maybe it was a Facebook post actually, but she sent me this. There was a car, a Highlander car, and it had all these like stick figures, and all of them were decapitated except for one guy, and it said there can be only one. And I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever. I want to be friends with that person.
That's amazing. Oh my god. Yes.
Yes. So then once Connor is young, is young again, Virginia Madsen is instantly attracted to him because
of course.
And obviously he's attracted to her because of course. So then they just start going at it right in the alley.
Right. Like they just, okay, let's just have sex with a stranger outside in a scary New York alley. Okay.
Yeah. And then after that they like go to his apartment or whatever. It's like, why couldn't you do that first?
Right? Like, what? The whole kiss scene was still just like over dramatic. I'm like, really? Yeah, like how about you get to know each other?
Well,
whatever.
Whatever. Well, the thing, or the one thing I like about it is that in the first movie, when he has the scene with Brenda where they kiss for the first time, he tells her, like, I'm Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. I was born this year in Scotland and I'm immortal. And then they do a similar version of that line in this scene where he says he was banished from Zeiss 500 years ago and he can't die. So I like that they have the callback and they're playing the same music. They're playing the Who Wants to Live Forever music, which I think is great. But the scene itself is ridiculous because, yeah, they just met. It should have been at the end of the movie instead.
Yeah, I was like, okay, go off. It's fine. But,
literally.
Can't catch me, but yeah.
How do you think it compared to the other two scenes in the first movie?
Virginia Madsen is next level. Whoever the fuck played Heather, down a level. So.
And then what about Brenda?
Brenda? No.
Brenda's the one in the 80s.
No.
Oh yeah, and then the whole reason why Connor went in on building this shield is because thousands of people, including Brenda, died from solar radiation.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So that's what that flashback was when he's like at the church and Katana's there and like steps on her grave or whatever.
Oh.
Because the Highlander, because the Immortals also cannot fight on holy ground.
Right.
Which is never really explained, but it's just a rule that Ramirez says, and if Sean Connery says it, it's true.
It's just a thing, yeah.
It's just a
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Like, wait, we cannot do this. Okay, Sean Connery.
Okay. So then, I don't even know where I was in the plot. Who cares? So then, Ramirez ends up and meets up with Connor and Louise, and the three of them go into the Shield Corporation to bring the shield down and to stop Katana. And when they go in, they're like they get riddled with bullets, Bonnie and Clyde style. And Virginia Madsen's just in the trunk, and then somehow she didn't get shot. And then she comes out, And she's like, these guys just picked me up and threw me in the trunk. And it's amazing. And then they're in the morgue, and then they just sit up, and then they're like, and then the doctor's like, these guys got filled with 100 bullets, and then Sean Connery's like, excuse me, 112. And then
he must be a Virgo.
And then there's that scene where he's on the plane and he's just like flirting with that woman, and
yes,
that was great too, because and then he watches the video of the plane crashing, which you couldn't show that on a plane.
Right, it's so stupid.
It was so funny because his reaction was like his reaction was my reaction seeing that for the first time. I'm like what the hell?
Yeah. Like, okay.
Like there's like in Superman Returns, there's the scene when he saves the plane from crashing. And if you watch that movie on a plane, that scene is not in the movie because they can't show that for obvious reasons.
Really?
Yeah. So
Planes
if you want to watch
showing movies can't show plane crashes?
Yeah, there's some kind of stipulation or something.
Whoa.
Now, if you bring your own copy of the movie, you can watch whatever the heck you want. I'm gonna watch this movie on a plane.
Just play the plane crashing scene over and over again.
The John Connery's reaction. Or splice in his reaction to Superman saving the plane instead.
Yeah.
Even better. So they get into the S.H.I.E.L.D. Corporation, and Katana has forced the S.H.I.E.L.D. guy, the guy from Scrubs, to work with him. And so
yes.
He's basically holding them hostage. And then so they go into this room, and there's this giant fan rotating, and it's getting lower and lower. And then Sean Connery uses the last of his magic to sacrifice himself to save Connor and Louise, and then they escape. And then Connor has one last fight, two more fights with Katana. And then they go above the shield and find out that the ozone layer is fixed, and that the reading was correct, and Alan was correct and everything. And then I haven't even talked about Alan at all, but that doesn't, whatever, who cares? Alan is the guy that worked with Connor to bring the shield up, like they're bros. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I was
guy.
wondering what that guy was within the story. I assumed he wasn't a Highlander because he was old.
No, he's not, because there was that scene where Connor goes to his office and is like, and he's like, bro, did you get a facelift or something? And Connor's like, yeah, pretty much, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like that guy. He ends up dying, right?
Yeah, that was sad. He ends up dying like right before they get above the shield and find out that he was right and that Louise was right and the shield is that they don't need to have the shield. So then Connor goes down and fights with Katana and wins and says there can be only one again. Also in the first movie, that giant sweeping shot in the studio that after Connor kills the Kurgan and it pans down to his head and he lifts his head up and says there can be only one and all the windows crash. That's like the greatest moment in cinema history. It's amazing. Another scene I really like is when Virginia Madsen finds all the stuff that Connor has and like finds out his history. I feel like that scene should have been before they had sex, because then it's like that's when she like started to know him as a person. And,
right.
And then he tells her about like his important past relationships, both of them. And after that scene, I really felt like they had a connection at that point, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, it was literally just looks. I mean, you can't blame a human for that. You can't. Because it happens.
It happens.
So, fine. Okay.
But yeah, I'm just thinking like in terms of good storytelling and narrative structure, if you want your hero and your love interest to have an actual connection, it's better for them to have the actual connection first and then do the other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
For storytelling. And I think the first movie does that really well, because we learn Connor's history and Brenda learns Connor's history, and they have like 2/3 of the movie where they get to know each other and he saves her life, and they have and then she finds out his whole history, and then it's like then they're actually together, and then that's when the Kurgan finds out about her and tries to bait Connor with her, you know. So yeah, last thing I wanted to say for the story of Highlander 2 was the way it ends. After killing Katana, Connor steps into the shield and uses his and Katana's combined power from the Quickening to break the shield from its source and destroys it. And Louise sees a starry sky for the first time, and then the two of them walk outside. Connor says that asks her to go to Zeist with him, and the two of them fly off and teleport to Zeist, and that's the end.
Because why not?
And Sean Connery's line is actually really great. He says, "You both still got your full measure of life. Use it well, and your future will be glorious." And I'm like, "That's sweet. I like that."
Oh, so sweet. Yeah, I love the ending. She was like, bro, no, I can't go with you. Are you kidding?
Sure you
But
can.
really,
It's a kind of magic.
You're a wanted terrorist in the United States, so come on.
You're a wanted terrorist. I forgot about that. I mean, I know that that's the whole beginning of her character, but by the time the movie ends, I always forget that she's a terrorist.
Of course. Yeah, it's like, really? All right, really? That's what she's doing? Okay, cool. Because she's so cool.
Yeah, she's so cool. She's probably the best part of this movie, other than Sean Connery walking around.
I
just
agree.
Living his best life.
Yes, number one, Sean Connery and his jokes, and being on Earth.
Yeah.
Getting his fucking suit tailored.
And he's
I
like,
love that.
Yeah, he gives him for his payment. He gives him like a fucking like earring or whatever, which would obviously be like obviously they could not know the exact value of it, but it's also like, of course, it's like a lot of money because
and they're like, yes, of course, this.
Ago.
Yeah,
but they don't know that. They don't know that.
It looks like a piece of costume jewelry, but okay. Yes, we will have your suit done this afternoon, sir. And he looked great in it. It was a great suit.
He did. He's just and then when they're tailoring his suit, he's just sitting there, just drinking his drink and having a cigar,
drinking,
and just vibing.
Smoking, yeah.
and then it's so great to see the two of them together again. I as much as I love Sean Connery just vibing, I wish there was more. I wish the movie had more time to dedicate to just him and Sean Connery just spending time together, because their friendship is so great, you know?
Yeah. It's so sweet, like, behind the scenes knowledge that they were just besties.
Yeah, I love that so much.
So cute.
But yeah, okay, so I have the Highlander 2 on Laserdisc, and it is the theatrical cut.
Oh.
So, I'm sorry. If you don't mind, I was going to delve into the different versions real quick. But,
yeah, I guess we didn't really talk about that. So I watched the version that Jake spliced between the theatrical cut and the director's cut, right?
Yes, actually 3 different cuts.
Oh my god, what's the other one?
A different fan edit that somebody had, where they spliced sources from multiple cuts. And then I spliced that cut plus the some audio from the theatrical, and then I used the Blu-ray for the HD footage, and I just spliced because the other fan edit is called, I believe, the extended Zeist cut, and that version, it's the most complete version of Highlander 2, but it's not in HD because it was done before done without using the Blu-ray remaster. So I put the Blu-ray remaster kind of as a skin over that edit, and I just worked on it, and I put in things I wanted to put in, and didn't put in. I think there was like one 20-second scene that I took out of just it's like right after the train scene where Katana is like he walks out of the train station, and then he's just like, oh, I like this city, and I'm like, don't need that. We already know he's come down to fuck shit up, and he's a bad guy. He's gonna go fight Connor, so it's not needed. But
okay.
So there's the theatrical cut, which is about 90. I think it's 95 minutes or something like that. Let me go grab my Laserdisc.
All right. Yes.
This Laserdisc is the reason I watched both Highlander movies, because I looked at this cover and it looks really cool. But I'm like, oh, Virginia Madsen and Sean Connery, yes. But I needed to watch the first one for context, so I did. And then the first one ended up becoming one of my favorite movies, and the second movie, slowly but surely, kind of did the same thing, because I got to know the movie really intimately while working on the editing process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like I have this kindred connection to it, even though the first movie is better, I think. Yeah, so the Laserdisc has its 90 minutes exactly, and so the theatrical cut is very poorly edited. And I don't mean in a take 3 in Resident Evil Final Chapter sense. I mean in a scenes are cut in half and other scenes are put in between them and the story is rearranged around and things just don't make a lot of sense. If you watch it and you haven't seen any other cut, it's kind of harder to tell that the editing is so jumbled, but going back and watching it again, I still don't think it's terrible. It's just like it has really bad editing. Like imagine like Connor and Louise start to drive down the road. And then in the middle of that is when they have the scene with Katana telling his two goons to come down from Zeiss to Earth to go fight Connor. And that's after Connor's wound has already healed. So it doesn't make any sense, because why would his wound just heal if they haven't come down to yet? And then there's that clip of Katana like watching Connor kill the bad guys or whatever, and then that's why he goes down to Earth. In the theatrical cut, he's just sitting there and he's just like, well, they're not here yet. I'm gonna go down to Earth because they probably died. That's not what he says, but that's the vibe of the scene. So the whole movie is they don't go above the shield. There's no truck chase. There's no the ending just ends after Connor blows up the shield and they see the sky and they look at each other. So the movie is very heavily edited. It starts like the opening scene of the movie is when they put the shield up in 1999, and then it just cuts to 25 years later, and then it does the whole opening bit of Connor at the opera.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then like the flashback with Brenda, that's not in the theatrical cut, or anything, and which I feel like is Connor's whole reason for making the shield and the whole plot of the movie. Like that's the inciting incident of the movie. Well, that's not true. That's the inciting incident of the past of the movie. In the movie itself, it's probably it's like when they come down from Zeist and Louise meets Connor McCloud and all that. But like it's like
right,
that.
But as a sequel.
Yes, as a sequel, the inciting incident, the reason why this movie happens is because so many people die from solar radiation, including his wife. So then he decides, okay, I'm gonna build this giant shield with the best minds of the world. I sound like a fucking lunatic talking about this shit, but that's the plot of the movie. So then
it's just a movie.
It's a movie, man. So then the cut that's on Blu-ray is what's known as the Renegade cut, and it's a much better edit. It's about 100 and I think it's 108 or 9 minutes, somewhere around there, and that's the standard cut you find on streaming, and that is the one where because when they first did the movie, the shield was like this orangish red color, and the effects looked really, really bad. But they didn't have the time to finish them because they ran over budget, and they were filming in Argentina, which is a really not a good place to film. It's very cheap to film there, but their restrictions are very high. So, and also they had producers breathing down the necks of the editors and the director, and it's one of those cases kind of like David Lynch's Dune, which is another movie I love starring Virginia Madsen. Or not starring her, she's in it for like 5 minutes, but she opens the movie, so it's starring Virginia Madsen. And no, I don't just love these movies because Virginia Madsen's in them, although that certainly helps.
Yes.
Kyle MacLachlan's in Dune also. That's another reason why it's great.
Mostly, yes. Yeah.
I wish they had made Dune Messiah just so Virginia Madsen and Kyle MacLachlan could have interacted as those characters. I mean, in the 80s, but we get Timothée Chalamet and Florence Pugh instead, so that's fine. I'll take it.
That's fine.
Anyway, so the Renegade version, the version that's on all the Blu-rays and streaming and stuff, they redid the effects so the shield is blue as originally intended, and it's got this digital upgrade where the effects actually look pretty good for a DVD re-edit. They look better than the fucking Star Wars special editions, easily, which suck. But that's obviously, that's a whole other story. If anybody who's listening doesn't know about that, or Maddie, if you don't know about that, that's a whole other story. Sorry, I'm just gonna pause. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the special editions of Star Wars?
Nope. Well, yes. Okay, like the prequels remade as like having the ghosts of people at the end.
Yes, that's one of the changes. Basically, in the original trilogy, anytime there's CG, the only official versions that you can find today have all the shitty CGI in them, and they have lines switched around, and they have new scenes, and they are not representative of the theatrical versions at all. And the CG is so dated because it's from the mid-90s and it looks like garbage. There's documentaries about it. There's fan edits restoring the theatrical cuts, because you cannot officially find the theatrical cuts of the original Star Wars trilogy in a quality better than Laserdisc. The only time they were ever released on DVD was sourced from a Laserdisc master from 1993. So there is no official high-quality version that's in print of the theatrical cuts of the original Star Wars trilogy. Or the prequels, by the way. You can't find prequel theatrical cuts anywhere except for Episode 1, which you can find on the widescreen VHS or the Japanese Laserdisc. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but as you can tell, I've done my research. So
yeah,
the Renegade cut of Highlander 2 puts in new effects that actually look fairly seamless, and even though they're digital effects, they still look very good for a film. And they gave the whole film a new blue tinted kind of color grade, but I think it works for the film because the movie was never had a proper remaster. Like the original theatrical cut, it just doesn't have that teal blueness to it. But unlike the 4K remaster of Batman '89, which was Tim Burton's Batman, which was totally butchered, from a visual and sound standpoint, I think the redone effects in Highlander 2 actually do help the movie. Which I know makes me sound like a hypocrite, but who cares? So the thing that the Renegade cut does not have every single scene. They take out all mentions of Zeiss. They just say it's like, at some point in the past, this is what Connor and Ramirez were doing. And it makes even less sense because it's like, if you don't have the other planet thing there, it's like, why are they in this weird ancient civilization with advanced tech? And they don't explain it.
Yeah, why?
All. So if you watch the movie on streaming or on Blu-ray or whatever, they don't mention Zeiss, which for me,
that's weird.
I know that that's a sticking point for fans, but for me, I love the batshit insanity that they're like, we're gonna make it in the sequel. We're gonna set it in fucking 2024. We're gonna have our characters be aliens from another planet, and they came down to Earth, and they don't remember until now. I love that. Like, unironically, it's a terrible decision, but I love it.
No, me too. That's a great premise.
It's so intriguing. It's like, I wish they did more. As much as I love the movie, I wish they did more with it, because if you're gonna commit to it, go all the way.
Yeah.
Then there was a fan editor. I don't remember the person's name, but what they did was they took and there's also the European cut of Highlander 2, the European theatrical cut, which is also different because that's where the ending comes from, where Connor and Louise go to Zeiss. That's only in the European theatrical cut.
Oh, really?
Which is why it's of lower quality, because that's the best film source that they have at that point. This movie needs like a Criterion or Arrow release with all the different cuts on it, and then they can put my cut on there too.
Yeah.
So anyway, this fan editor put together this cut, put the most complete version of Highlander 2 that you could possibly find. Then I found that one online, and I obtained a copy of that, along with a copy of the Blu-ray, the Renegade cut, and then the theatrical cut as well. And so I took those three versions, and I put as much of the movie in, like, remastered it in HD as much as possible, and then I put back in all the deleted scenes, which is about 10 to 15 minutes worth, that the Blu-ray Renegade cut does not have.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I want to double check myself with that extra running time, because I don't want to make it sound like it's.
It was like 158 or 157.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Renegade cut is 1 hour and 49 minutes. So
okay.
It's 110. It's 109 minutes. Yeah, so mine has about like 7 or 8 extra minutes in it. Edited in.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's not entirely my edit. I'm not going to take all the credit, obviously, because that would be really terrible of me.
No, I mean, you re-edited the whole thing throughout 3 movies, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it really just gave me just this like, I just feel like I'm just have this like connection to this movie now because I just spent so much time knowing it and editing it and finding out about all the different cuts and just making it my own.
Yeah.
It just really feels like special to me in that way.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to search. So I'm doing this on my phone. I don't know how this site works on my phone, but I need to find I want to find the name of the name this editor goes by so I can credit them, because I don't feel right not crediting them.
Yeah, for sure. We can link their version. Do you feel comfortable linking your version or no?
Let me get back to you on that.
Okay.
Phineas BG is the name of the fan editor who did the Zeiss version, and there's the special. It's the extended Zeiss version is what it's called. And that version runs 120 minutes according to the fan edit database. So from the theatrical cut, it's got an extra half an hour put into it. So, and it's obviously reshuffled. And yes, the Renegade, and yes, the Renegade cut did do a lot more work, but they also took out the most interesting aspect of the film. Also, I just referenced the movie with that quote, so that's why I said yes like 10 times. The scene I'm talking about is when the guy from Scrubs comes into Alan's office and he's like, hey Alan, we've been monitoring you. And yes, that includes your conversation with McLeod the other day. And so I had to do that. Oh, also, I don't know how you felt about his death scene, but it's so awesome. He says to Katana, he looks at Michael Ironside and he's like, I think you fucked up, partner. And then Michael Ironside picks him up and throws him out the window, and then he hits the ground and his face is all messed up. I love it.
So fucked up.
But yeah, so, and also on the Blu-ray version, if you watch that cut, also, it also ends with them not going to Zeiss. It just kind of leaves that up in the air because that Zeiss doesn't exist in that version of the movie.
That's crazy. They just didn't mention it at all?
No, they edit around it. And that was the thing, I spliced in the audio from the other versions to the Blu-ray because Sean Connery's lips move and he says, and he's talking about Zeiss, but they just mute the audio, but they still leave the shot with, like in the beginning when he's like, free men of the planet Zeiss, hear me. But then in the Blu-ray cut, he just says, free men of the planet, hear me. But his mouth still says Zeiss, and then later on when they're like sitting in Connor's apartment and they're toasting their success, he's like Connor's like, to magic, and Sean Connery's like, to Zeiss. And then they change him to also saying the same thing that Connor says, but like his mouth doesn't say that.
That's crazy.
And there's just little tiny moments that aren't in the current official version. So it does feel a bit like Star Wars with revisionist history. And you could argue that the edit that I did make is also revisionist history because I'm splicing the Blu-ray, the original cuts. But the movie's never really had, except for this other fan edit that Phineas made, where this movie's never really had a complete cut. Every single official cut of the movie is incomplete in some way or another. And so just having access to a complete version and then just kind of splicing it in what exists on the Blu-ray was just something I just really wanted to do it. And it was a really great project. And sometimes I usually don't see all my projects through the end. So this is one that, because, ADHD, but, or autism or whichever. But, I don't know which one it is. It could be both. I'm just glad that this was something that I saw through, and I'm glad that you enjoyed watching it, from an editing standpoint. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so impressive that you did that. Like, I could never.
and sometime, maybe I'll try to get a photo of it or something, but sometime if you're here, I can show you too. There's there's that scene I was just talking about where they're in Connor's apartment and Louise comes down the stairs and meets Sean Connery. Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez.
Yeah.
And there's that tag at the end of the scene. There's the little bit at the end where she asks him if he's also immortal, and that part is not in the Blu-ray cut. So that part, I had to splice in.
Oh, oh my gosh.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the scene with the rotating fan. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know. I love it. Oh, I don't care. And I'm also really proud of it because that scene I edited from 3 different sources. And none of the color timings matched. So I had to make all the color timing match as best as I could. And even though not all of the sources were in the best quality, so I couldn't make it look entirely seamless, I'm still proud of it feeling more seamless, when you view it.
I had no idea.
Because if you watch that scene in the Blu-ray, there's 15 to 20 seconds removed from that scene, but it's in little increments throughout the scene. There's the part when Luis is trying to open the door from the lock, and it's that's a cool character detail. That's something that she can do because she doesn't do enough in the movie. She should be doing everything, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
So then
it's kind of like damsel in distressy.
A little bit, and just the fact that they just took out the moments where she is actually being an active character just bothers me.
Yeah.
But there's that little bit, and then there's the part when Connor's like, "We're trapped in a room with a machine that can cut off our heads." She's actually doing stuff. And also with looping the audio, the music is different in some of the other versions, in the European cut and in the extended dice version, and I wanted to have The Amazing Grace put back into it because I really like that audio. In that I really like that the music they use in that scene, even though it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It's just great. So then I also had to splice in the audio from the edit and the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray cut and just like make it mix properly. And because the audio sources are different, that was also not the easiest thing to do. So
Oh my gosh.
that scene is probably the scene I'm proudest of.
Wow. Crazy.
So like I said, Criterion, Arrow, somebody, some boutique company, please. I know there'd be a lot of legal rights, but the current Blu-rays are out of print. The streaming version is just the Renegade version. So any boutique label, just release this movie, every single cut on it if you can. And if you want to throw my edit on there, by all means, let me know. You don't have to pay. You don't even have to pay me. It's fine.
Nah.
I mean, I'd like it, but I don't know if I can because it's a fan edit. So whatever.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I hope you found that informative. And Maddie, I'll probably open up my Final Cut project and send you like I'll be like, okay, this is like how the scene looks on the timeline, and then you can
Oh yeah.
aid. Thank you for letting me go on for that. Do you have any other thoughts on this movie?
No, I'm good. Oh, actually, one more thing. What are your thoughts on Catherine Newton?
Who's that?
She, in my mind, is the new Virginia Madsen.
What is she in?
She's in the Pokemon movie. She's in Lisa Frankenstein.
Ooh, I heard that was good.
It was cute, yeah.
Did you tell me about that? About Lisa Frankenstein?
Maybe.
Catherine Newton. Oh, she's in Lady Bird also. Oh yeah, she's the one they recast to be Ant-Man's daughter in Quantumania, which is like one of the worst looking movies ever.
Oh god.
Okay, yeah, I have heard of her. I see it. I can see it. Like her eyes look similar. She got kind of a similar facial structure too.
Yeah. That was just like one scene of Virginia Madsen. I was like, oh, okay, she looks like Catherine, especially in Lisa Frankenstein, that takes place in like the past.
I gotta watch Lisa Frankenstein now.
It's cute.
It was already in my watch list, but I gotta watch it. Oh, well, get this, Maddie. She also played a character named Louise in the CBS comedy show Gary Unmarried.
Oh, really?
So there you go. There's the connection.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out Lisa Frankenstein. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I guess I will try to do this in 5 minutes, but I forgot to tell you about the other Highlander movie.
Oh, snap.
So Highlander 3, they called it Highlander 3, but it ignores Highlander 2. So it's like the Terminator sequels where it's an alternate Highlander 2.
Oh my god.
And it's verbatim the plot of the first movie. They still have Brenda die in a different way. She dies in the car crash. But it's still Connor McLeod, Christopher Lambert, and he's got his short hair from the 80s, so that's a plus.
Okay.
Got his scruffy facial hair, all that good stuff. His new love interest is a carbon copy of Brenda from movie 1, so they should have just either had her recasted or brought her back. It's a movie I don't really like that much because also the villain's just kind of generic, but the movie looks beautiful. It is shot so well. However they remastered it, it looked like the HD copy that I watched looks amazing. There's like the opening is like set in the snow, and Mako, who's the voice of Uncle Iroh in Avatar, he's making this sword for Connor, and it's like this incredible opening sequence. It's amazing. It's like 15 minutes. And then I wish the movie had done that opening scene and then been a Highlander 2 sequel set on Zeiss with Virginia Madsen. And then just do the third act of Highlander 3 where Connor returns to his home where Heather and Ramirez died. He digs and into the ground and finds his sword again, like he uncovers his sword that he buried in movie 1, and he uses that in his final battle. And I'm like, that they could have just done that third act, but followed Highlander 2.
Yeah, why not?
But it's a really good looking movie. I will say that, and the music is good and all that. It's just the story is just fairly weak. The fourth movie is called Highlander Endgame, and it follows the TV show, so it's a little bit confusing because I've never seen the TV show. But it follows Connor and Duncan, both of them, Christopher Lambert again, and Adrian Paul, and it's the two of them. Basically, every sequel is like the gathering happened, but for some reason Connor didn't win the prize, or he did, but like there's more bad guys because we have to make more movies, you know. So they have new scenes with him and Heather from the first movie. They brought back that actress, which is really cool. They have there's a cameo appearance from Rachel. She's the girl that he saves from the Nazi in the first movie, and then she's like his secretary. They have that actress come back for a minute.
Oh wow.
Which is cool. And then it follows the TV show. So there's a bunch of stuff I don't understand. There's a character called his name is actually like Methos or something, but I kept calling him Mentos the whole movie. So, and it's very Matrixy. It's got a lot of slow-mo action. So I had no idea what was going on, but I vibed with it. It was a good time. But story-wise, I could not tell you what was going on because I haven't. And spoilers, Connor dies at the end and is actually really sad. It's really moving because him and Duncan are like it's the two of them and they're up against the last bad guy. And Connor knows that, like, if they go up to fight the bad guy and the bad guy kills him, then the bad guy's going to obtain his energy. So he has Duncan kill him instead. And it's a really moving scene.
Oh, wow.
And then Duncan wins the prize and gets the girl at the end. And it's very Matrixy. It's cool. Then the fifth movie is called The Source, and it's terrible. It has Duncan in it again. He's got a new love interest. Mentos is there. Him and Duncan have this antagonistic relationship. Then at the end of The Source, they mend fences, and like he helps Duncan out. Kind of like in Matrix Resurrections at the end with Jonathan Groff helping out Keanu Reeves. Spoilers, I guess, for Matrix 4. But which makes me wish, as much as I love Jonathan Groff, it makes me wish it was Hugo Weaving. But anyways, Highlander 5 is atrocious. It is so boring. It is so terribly shot. It is like really cheap. It looks really cheap. It's horribly edited. It doesn't make a lot. So basically, it's kind of like Highlander 2. Okay, hang on. Highlander 1 to 2. It's the same thing as Highlander 4 to 5. Where in the fifth movie, the world is super decrepit and like Duncan's just wandering the earth. But just like the way it's shot is so bad. Like it looks like a really bad made-for-TV movie. And it's like the editing is really weird and the fight choreography is weird. It's really boring, like I said. So whatever. So stay away from that. And then the sixth movie is an anime movie called The Search for Vengeance. And it looks cool, but I couldn't really get into the story of that one either. And it's about this other McLeod, and I forget what his first name is. It's not Connor. It's not Duncan. Oh, I think his name's Colin. The pieces of the Matrix that really were inspired by anime. The Wachowskis, they really love anime, obviously, and what they were inspired by to put that in the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like, the anime influences is what I'm trying to say that are in the Matrix.
Okay.
That kind of passes over to Endgame through the lens of like it being Matrix inspired. So that one feels more anime-esque in terms of its like movement rather than the actual anime movement. So 5 and 6 can fuck off. 3 and 4 are okay. but for me it's like they couldn't have just made 3 be a sequel to part 2 and it's on Zeiss the whole time and Virginia Madsen's there. Like they couldn't have done that. Because instead they did a carbon copy of movie 1. And because all the Highlander sequels are pretty much widely, like, not many people like them very much. Especially the second one, because it changes so much. But at least movie 2 does so much interesting things, even though it's batshit crazy. Like, at least it has Zeiss. At least it's set, it's got the ozone layer stuff. It's set in 2024. Like, what other sequels take those big of swings? Not saying they all hit I think they all hit their mark, but not saying they entirely hit their mark. But I'd rather have a sequel, or a remake or whatever, take a big swing and have it be a miss rather than just do the exact same thing.
Yeah, make it what they think Hollywood would like.
Exactly, just make whatever you want. Like Halloween Ends takes a big swing. The latest Halloween movie takes a big swing.
Really?
Yeah, it's not even about Michael Myers at all, practically.
Really?
Yeah, it's about Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter and this other guy falling in love, and that's what and he's kind of losing his sanity, and that's what the last Halloween movie is about.
Huh.
And then the last act goes back to Jamie Lee Curtis fighting Michael Myers, which is cool, but it's not well executed. But I remember watching the movie in a theater and just being like, this is like so unique. Like, if you're going to continue an existing property,
I don't want to be like hand-fed the same story over and over.
Exactly.
So I appreciate it.
So I hope you enjoyed that little recap, and I hope that that all makes sense.
Yes. Thank you for going through that so I don't have to.
You're welcome.
All right. So,
Yeah, so when did we record our last episode? Because I'm trying to think like what I watched since then.
okay, let me see. Let me pull it up. July 27th?
Okay. So then perfect. Then I can tell you what I've watched since then.
Okay.
So I'm not going to talk about everything, just the important stuff.
Okay.
So I don't remember if I said this last time, but I did manage to track down Deathstalker 3 and 4. So now I've seen all the Deathstalker movies.
Oh, shit.
The only one worth watching is part 2, obviously, because part 2 is great and the other ones all kind of suck. I mean, they all suck, but part 2 is part 2, like, it at least feels like a satire, and I appreciate that aspect of it. And it's just a fun, trashy 80s movie, but like not in a way that feels like, in retrospect, it feels like a negative, like it doesn't have that negative connotation of like, oh, this was okay back then, it's not okay now. It just kind of feels, it almost has this weird quality of like, this kind of movie probably shouldn't exist ever, but they kind of knew that it was bad when they made it, and I really like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Huh. Okay.
Deathstalker 3, the villain's name is Truck Sawdust.
What?
Yeah, Truck. So his name is his name is something else, but it sounds like they're saying Truck Sawdust. and then Deathstalker 4 has the actor from the first movie, but it's marginally better than movie 1. So then I also watched the first fairy tale movie called Phoenix Priestess, and I loved it. I started the leaked because apparently 2 SpongeBob spin-off movies in a row got leaked. So I saw the Plankton movie, or as much of it as I could. Both of them are terrible, but it's not as bad as the Sandy Cheeks movie. But that's like saying the only comparison I can think of is really vulgar, so I don't think I want to say it. But both of them are very bad. I gave them both a half star.
Okay. Wow.
I watched them both illegally, or not. I watched them both leaked, so I feel better about watching them and not having to pay for them. Since then, I've been kind of busy, because I had a child.
Oh my god!
My child was born.
My god!
My daughter was born. She's doing very healthy. Everything's going great. I'm very tired, but so I've really gotten into watching Godzilla movies.
Oh.
I've watched 10 of the Japanese ones so far, plus all of the American ones.
Oh my god.
I believed I talked about all the American ones because Toon and I watched all the MonsterVerse movies in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, the original Godzilla is incredible. I love it. It has this serious tone. It's shot in black and white. It looks so beautiful. The human characters, you actually care about them. And Godzilla is just like this dangerous force. And I've heard that Godzilla -1 and Shin Godzilla, the 2 newest Japanese ones, are more like that in tone. And I'm really excited to see those. Shin Godzilla is also directed by the guy who created Evangelion. So I'm excited for it just for that. And I wish there was a crossover movie with Evangelion and Godzilla, because it would genuinely be the greatest movie of all time. No cap. And then there's also Son of Godzilla, which I think, now that I'm a parent, that's exactly what parenting is like. It's just like that movie. And then the original King Kong versus Godzilla is a lot of fun. And then there's one movie. All these movies have many titles. So this one is also Godzilla versus the Sea Monster is one of its titles. And that one is actually probably one of my favorite ones so far. It's probably my second favorite so far. But like I said, I haven't gotten to Godzilla. The next one's Godzilla's Revenge, where his son starts speaking, and his son is like, Godzilla says I should fight my own battle. and then there's Godzilla versus Gigan, where all the monsters start talking in this warbly speech, like.
Oh no!
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be amazing. But then there's actual serious Godzilla movies that I can't wait to watch, like Godzilla vs. Destroyer. That one's gonna be great. I'm sure. And then there's Godzilla Final Wars, which just looks like the most insanely awesome movie ever. Where it's just like it has almost every monster in it, so it's like Endgame or something. Then the other thing I watched was this. Even though I haven't seen a lot of his movies, I'm a huge fan of Christopher Reeve. He's one of my favorite actors. He is the definitive Superman in my mind. Love him so much. I have not seen the documentary that they came out with about him yet. But I did watch a movie he was in with Michael Caine called Death Trap. and it's from the guy Sidney Lumet, who also directed Dog Day Afternoon, Serpico, 12 Angry Men, the original, and this Death Trap movie is great. There's so many twists and turns. It's kind of like a murder mystery, kind of like Clue and Knives Out, except it's more like played for seriousness. Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine, both their performances in it are just so good, and it's on Tubi, so I really recommend that one. It's great.
What's it called again?
Death Trap. One word. It's from 1982. It's great.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah.
And then, based on your recommendation, Maddie, Emily and I watched Uglies, which feels like I think you said this actually, so I'm going to take this quote from you. It feels like a 2014 movie that just didn't get released until 2024.
Yes.
I actually like vibed with it. The way I view it is there's different tiers of YA adaptations. Like I think Hunger Games is like at the top. Like Catching Fire is my favorite of all the. I'm not counting Harry Potter or Twilight. I'm counting like the teenage dystopian like. And then you got Hunger Games at the top. Like that's the plateau. All those movies are fantastic, like well made, well crafted movies. They got finished them. They're still making them. That's the most contradictory statement I've said since talking about Highlander 2. And then like the next tier is like where Divergent is, where like it's debatable if it's good or not, but I still love it for many different reasons. You know, you can debate that. Where Hunger Games, I'm like, they're genuinely well made films.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom you have like total like crap that like didn't even get like a sequel. So you have
like The Host.
Yeah, like which I haven't seen The Host, so I will not press judgment on a film I have not seen.
Well, honestly, there's no sequel to be made from The Host, but it just didn't. The book, that's like my favorite book. It was so good. It's somewhere on my reading list. Yeah, you gave it to me again. I'm gonna reread it for sure.
Okay. I almost forgot about that.
No.
Until you said that. Okay, so don't watch the movie, just read the book.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Even though it has Saoirse Ronan, just no.
I love her.
I know.
But yeah, so Uglies is kind of somewhere in the middle between those two tiers, those two bottom tiers, where I don't know if it's good or not, but I vibed with it. I agree with you that Joey King just kind of proved herself as the movie went on. The guy that they set up her romance with, I thought that actor was like 10 years older than her. So when they started having romantic stuff, I was like, wait a minute, isn't she? Because I was like, wait, how old is Joey King in real life? And she's like 24 or 25. But like her character is like 16, and this dude looks like he's in his 30s, and I'm like, no, I don't like this. It's creeping me out. And then the other two characters, like her best friend, her two best friends, like the one that ditches her in the beginning, the guy, and then the girl that's like her rebound best friend. She had so much more chemistry with either of them. I thought she was going to end up with one of them, honestly.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah. Like just watching the movie. I kind of
loved like the chemistry between her and the other like outlaw guy. Like
the guy that she actually goes with?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Mm-hmm.
It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I don't know, it just kind of fell flat for me because I just
I get that. Because she had so much chemistry and like background with the other characters. So
yeah, like
then she's like, oh, okay, I'm a new girl here. Let's just you want to kiss me?
Right. But it would be like if you started Divergent and Triss had a relationship with this guy for the first 20 minutes and then she starts dating Theo James. It's like then
kind of like Hunger Games.
Yeah, kind of. I was gonna use Hunger Games, but I'm like, wait, I can't use that because that's. But at least in that's what happened. But at least in Hunger Games, it makes sense, and it takes them 4 movies to get together.
Yeah, for sure. And I know. I was like, what's his name?
Which one? Gale, Peeta?
Gale. I was like Team Gale forever, and then, but like, it just works out so well with Peeta.
And then in Mockingjay, they're like, oh yeah, you remember all of Gale's good traits? Well, fuck all those. He might have accidentally killed Katniss's sister.
God, what the fuck? It's fucked.
It's so fucked.
It's fucked.
It's so fucked. But that's no shade to Mockingjay because I love Mockingjay. Although like I've said in the past, it'd be better as a single 3-hour movie than 2 movies. But
yes. Just make us a long movie. There's nothing wrong with that, okay, Hollywood?
No, there's really nothing wrong with it. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's the last movie. It's going to make a lot of money. And the two Mockingjay movies did not make as much as the first two did. So, like, just make it a 3-hour fucking... Hell, make it 4 hours and make it one movie. I'll fucking watch it. Fucking Lord of the Rings,
Yes!
all those movies are 4 hours long.
Yes! And when you said Wicked is only part 1, I'm upset. I'm upset.
I know nothing about Wicked, but I hope for you that it's a very good actor.
I hope so too, because I've seen that play multiple times, and it's my favorite. It is my favorite Broadway play musical. It's just God.
Oh, that's so great. That makes me want to check it out.
It's so good. It's so good. The songs are amazing, and I mean, I know I'm gonna be let down by the movie. Like, who isn't? Who isn't let down by the movie adaptation of a musical?
Everyone. Unless it's just like Hamilton, where you literally filmed the production. Like, otherwise,
Right.
Otherwise, it's not going to be a 1-to-1. So obviously, it's not going to be like, this is something you've loved for so many years. It's the same thing as like when the new It movies came out, and I had read the book like a few years before that, and I was just like I couldn't help but look at those movies more critically because I had loved the book so much, and the 90s version, you know?
Yeah.
So even though they made it in 2 parts, it still didn't fulfill what I was hoping for.
No. I actually have not seen It Part 2 yet.
I might like it better than It Part 1, honestly. It Part 1 is one of those movies where I think it's not that bad of a movie, but I left the theater feeling so like disappointed from it, just because I had such an image in my head, like when they announced the cast and when they announced like when they showed the trailer and everything. I'm like, okay, this is, not that the trailer doesn't convey the tone of the movie, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain without getting into like a whole 40-minute discussion.
It was just it didn't go above and beyond for me. It was just like, okay.
It was just kind of average. Oh, my favorite scene in both the 90s Tim Curry version and in the book is the scene where the 7 characters are together for the first time. And they throw the rocks at the bullies and they stand up to the bullies, and it's so empowering. And even in the 90s version, it has this sense of like, it has this sense of grittiness that the new movie doesn't have. And I hate that scene in the new movies so much, but I don't want to get too deep into it, but that's my go-to example when I think of why that movie doesn't fully work for me.
Okay.
I really don't like that scene at all.
Because it could be so empowering and like justified, like, all right, we're gonna team up all of our forces against evil, and then if it falls flat, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and since the book is told non-linearly, it's like there's so much build up to that moment. And like when that moment happens, you feel like, okay, this is what we've been building to for the first half of the book. Like, this is where, or the first half of the first half, if that makes any sense. Like the first quarter of the story, this is what we've been building to. And it feels so impactful and so empowering to have all of these characters you've been following about finally like all join forces and come together. And it's like, yes, the team is finally assembled. And then in the new movies, they just,
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I still don't know if Uglies was a good movie or not. But when it ended, I'm like, okay, I need the next one, like right now. I enjoyed it enough that when it left off, I'm like, okay, I need the next movie. Which if they don't make it, that's fine. I'll just read the books or look up a synopsis or something. But
all right, awesome.
That is everything.
Okay, so since we last recorded, one of my coworkers gave me a list of like their 10 favorite movies.
Yes,
which is so special. Love that. And they gave me one. Number 10 was Bill Cunningham, New York. It was a documentary about this sir named Bill Cunningham. He was a photographer around New York who just took pictures of average, everyday people, but like high fashion people. He had his own eye of design and took pictures of people who he thought were fashionable, and then he just like blew up from that. And that's all he did. That's all he cared about. And he didn't have like any relationships outside of that. He lived in an apartment that was like an old historical site. He slept on top of his filing cabinets. Like, all he cared about was like documenting New York, and it was so inspiring and cute and sad at the same time because it ends with an interview of him talking about like a significant other, and he's just like, you know, I don't know. And then they like kind of attack him for maybe being gay, and then he's like, no, yeah, I don't know, yeah. And then it just ends, and it's so sad.
Aww.
But it's inspiring too because he has such a passion. Where did I watch that? Let's see.
Can't believe he slept on his filing cabinets.
He slept on top of his filing cabinet.
Wow.
Yeah, here's one of it. He lived at Carnegie Hall. One of his quotes was, "A lot of people have taste, but they don't have the daring to be creative." He would attend charity events and didn't care about the guest list, just the cause. He would call out designers and be like, you're a copycat. If the look had been done before. He's a true savant of day-to-day fashion. This was one of his quotes, "He who seeks beauty will find it." One of his last interviews, he breaks down at the question, "Is religion important to you?" And that's right after talking about his romantic relationships and possible homosexuality. So it's just like, he's just kind of like breaking down about it, and it's so sad that if he was who he was and he couldn't accept it for himself or couldn't accept it to the public, like couldn't get it out there, but he did such great work, you know. God, this was in 2010. I watched it on Amazon Prime, and it was great. So that's only one. Oh god, I've seen so many things. Okay, hang on.
Maddie, I talked about like 10 things. You're totally fine. That sounds really... I don't know if I would watch that because it sounds really sad, but it also sounds really engaging.
It's really, really good. Like, I mean, it's only like an hour long, but...
okay.
I would just put it on and you just get kind of involved in it. Because I was like, I don't know about this. This is like an old documentary, but no, his character really just like takes you in. And you're like, oh, I love him. Okay, so I also watched The Deliverance, which is on Netflix. It's a movie adaptation based on true events. LaToya Ammons, based in a haunted house in Indiana. But this movie was really good because it was kind of a in between of like, okay, is this true crime? Is this abuse versus a haunting? We don't really know. But listening to like the actual case, it's kind of scary how like maybe they were possessed with some sort of demon. So yeah, it's a supernatural film about a single mother living with her kids and her kind of unraveling as the experiences go on. But this one had an interesting spin at the end, which is not does not translate to the actual story. But in the end of this film, she had like a sort of religious person do an exorcism who wasn't Catholic, who was like speaking in tongues, which I felt was weird. But it kind of gets that like other religious people involved, I guess, in a sort of exorcism besides the Catholics. That I don't know. It was like a woman pastor who came to their house and was like, okay, I'm gonna speak in tongues and get rid of your demon, as opposed to the traditional like Catholic exorcism. I don't think that has any relevance in like the actual true story that happened.
Okay.
Just kind of a movie adaptation. But definitely the true story. If you look up any podcasts that have the LaToya Ammons experience, it's very interesting and scary. Okay, gosh dang, I haven't even gotten to the good part. Okay.
I'm with you. What was that movie called? The one you were just talking about?
That one was called The Deliverance.
The Deliverance. I think I heard about that one actually. Let me see. Is it from this year?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that poster before. Like I've seen people on Letterboxd have seen it and stuff.
Mm.
So
okay.
Yeah. Maybe it was you. I think it was you actually, and I take it
Oh,
back.
maybe.
That makes sense. Okay, I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, you're good. Okay, I watched the new Studio Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron.
I still have not seen it.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It took me back to Spirited Away vibes, which I probably was scarred from in my childhood because that was the first Studio Ghibli movie I watched. And it scared me. I was in like first grade. And the thought of like going to a mystical world where my parents were just pigs,
yeah, gosh.
and then I had to figure out what this scary like ghost man. No, I didn't like it. Did not like it. But The Boy and the Heron. Okay, so we've got Miyazaki film. It just scared the shit out of me. The fucking heron has teeth and he has a face and oh, scary. Okay, so the heron shows up and he's actually like a person inside the heron. And he eventually sheds like his heron costume and he's like this ugly ass, big nose, big teeth gremlin thing. And I hate it. They take him to another world. He meets like this spirit of his great auntie. And there's like these evil parakeet people, and they were so icky. Ooh, don't like. But the wawaras, the little like ghosty things that fly in the air, they're so cute, and they fly away, and they're like little spirits that go into the next world. So love that. That was the best part. Oh god, it was gory. Like Mihito had to gut a giant fish, and it was like intestines and blood everywhere.
Good gosh.
It was gross. But it was just like, yeah, kind of like a dreamscape of this boy who traveled along and meeting friends along the way to try to get back to home where, kind of like Wizard of Oz, you know? Like...
Kind of like Wicked?
No, not like Wicked. But like, he has like a guide, he's going into these different dimensions, and then he comes back home to retell the story. So,
okay.
Yeah. It was weird and unsettling. That's just my opinion, man.
That's fair, that's totally fair. Have you seen Kiki's Delivery Service?
Yes.
Do you like that one?
Yes.
Okay. That was going to be my recommendation for you. So, have you seen Princess Mononoke?
Maybe, but not like within the last 20 years.
I really loved it, so that's one I'd recommend. I'd love
to.
I'd love to rewatch it.
Yeah, I want to watch that. Oh, hello, Nunny. You gonna purr in the microphone?
Bingsley has just been walking around, rubbing against me, wanting me to pet her for the last 10 minutes. So she usually either doesn't want affection, or when she does, it's like when she's done something she's not supposed to. But we don't know that yet.
What a cat she is.
Yeah, like I'll find something the next day and I'll be like, oh, this is why you were doing this last night. And she's looking under the couch. It's like, I wonder if I can fit under here.
I got all the cats in the room with me. They love now that I'm upstairs again.
That's great.
Annie Hoozles. Okay, so.
It's okay, we're still here.
School of Rock. 5 stars. I watched Uglies, like we talked about before.
I love School of Rock.
I watched. Yes.
I love Jack Black.
Me too. Then I found this account on TikTok that was like, I love bad horror, I like good horror, here's some of my recommendations, and she gave recommendation for Vampires versus the Bronx. That's on Netflix, and it was cute. It was kind of like a Stranger Things vibe of like a group of young boys fighting against evil, like a vampire. So that was fun.
Also kind of sounds like Lost Boys a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like that too. Okay, so then my next 3 I gave 5 stars.
Okay, bring it on. Okay.
Oddity. I had to rent it on Amazon Prime, but it was recommended to me from Dan Cummins on Scared to Death podcast. Oh my god. My goodness, I have not been scared like that in a long time. It was like the jump scares were super good. You had no idea. The whole story of it was great. It was kind of a mix of like true crime with paranormal. Also based in Europe, so we love that. Highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Well, I think I'll pass.
It was scary.
I don't want to watch it if it's scary. I want to watch more like the spooky kind of stuff rather than the scary kind of stuff.
It was scary as fuck. Yeah.
I don't doubt your recommendation. I think just for me, I'll stay away from that. It's kind of like how I don't want to watch any Ari Aster movies because those I've read what those like Hereditary and Midsummer are about, and I'm just like, no, no.
Wait, you haven't seen either of those?
No. I will never. Sorry, Maddie. With all due respect to you, and I mean that sincerely, I will never watch those movies ever. Especially now that I have a daughter, I will never watch Hereditary.
Oh God, yeah, no.
Fuck that.
No. Midsummer, it's. I feel it's not really a horror movie. I don't know, but I mean, teach their own. Okay, the next 5-star movie that I watched was I Saw the TV Glow.
Yes, you told me about that. That sounds really interesting.
I think you would love it.
Okay.
It really reminded me of David Lynch.
Okay.
There was this music scene like halfway throughout where we were at this club and there were 2 musical acts that came on. One was featuring Phoebe Bridgers.
Ooh.
And then one that was like this kind of like dark, like kind of scream thing, but it was just like, it was like a music video for that 10 minutes, which totally reminded me of David Lynch.
I love when he does that in his movies and into.
Yes, it was totally like that. It's like this young boy and girl. The girl is older. She introduces the boy to a TV show that they're both obsessed with. Then like years pass. The girl disappears. She comes back and she's like, I've been living in the TV show. Do you want to come with me? Type of thing.
That sounds amazing.
It's super crazy.
I think you hooked me with that synopsis. With that like, yeah, I think I need to watch that now.
I think you would really like it.
100 minutes. You know, I could knock that out easily.
And it's with the guy who plays Justice Smith.
He's in Dungeons and Dragons. He's in the Jurassic World. He's in Detective Pikachu with what's her name? Catherine Newton.
Oh my god. So Paper Towns was what I compared this movie to.
Oh, he's in that. Okay.
That's so weird he's in that. Because I compared this movie to that because this bitch just disappears and he has to go like
that is what Paper Towns is. It's like she disappears and they go on a journey. But also they sing the Pokemon theme, which is Justice Smith is also in Detective Pikachu.
Huh.
So there you go.
Why did I think he was Miles Morales?
Which also has Catherine Newton, so it's all connected.
Yes, Catherine Newton is in Detective Pikachu.
Yes, you need to tell me other movies she's in so I can. Oh yeah, Lisa Frankenstein, that was the one. So Lisa Frankenstein and I Saw the TV Club. I should double feature those.
No, she's not in I Saw the TV Club. She's in Detective Pikachu. So she's in Abigail. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes, and she's also in Lisa Frankenstein.
She's in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Did you ever watch that one? Oof. It's hard to watch. It is, but it's good. She's in Big Little Lies. Did you guys watch that yet? It's so good. I guess she's in Lady Bird.
Yeah, I don't
remember her in that.
No, me neither. How funny would it be if she's like super prominent in it or something? She is. Oh, she's pretty far down. Okay, so then what was your other 5-star?
Oddity, I Saw the TV Glow, and Death Becomes Her.
Well, what's that?
This is from 1992 with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about.
It's so cute. The way my review went was like Bride Wars meets Beetlejuice. So,
okay.
It's about these 2 women who love this man. So Meryl Streep is like obsessed with like, I mean, they're both obsessed with how they look, and it's Bruce Willis is the man.
Okay.
They're each trying to like kill each other to get Ernest, the man, and taking potions and like, they go to Isabella Rossellini. She's like the big witch in the movie, and she
Okay.
gives them the potion that they need.
Okay, now I gotta see it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically like the two of them fighting for youth and fighting for the man.
Nice. And it's directed by Robert Zemeckis. It's a kind of magic, you could say.
Uh-huh. Yeah, oh my god, he has so many good movies.
Robert Zemeckis? Yeah, he directed Back to the Future, Forrest Gump.
Castaway, Contact.
Thank you, Castaway.
Polar Express. Roger
Roger Rabbit, yeah. Polar
Christmas
Express.
Carol.
Fucking Polar Express. That movie is so strange.
Do you like it or do you hate it?
I'm in smack dab in the middle. Because I saw it twice in theaters as a kid. I saw it once with my class and once with my grandma. And it wasn't planned. I didn't know I was going to be going to see it for a school thing, but we went and saw it for school. I really liked it as a kid. I watched it almost every year for a few years, and then I kind of just forgot about it. I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I didn't watch it every year. I would just watch little bits on TV and stuff like that. And then I watched it again like last year, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not. It's a very weird movie. There's things about it I like, and there's things about it I don't like.
Yeah.
But the best part is that Tom Hanks plays like 10 characters in it. And also the kid that's voiced by Eddie Deason, that's like, he's like, you know what kind of train this is? During the whole movie, he's just like,
The kid with the glasses?
yeah, the kid with the glasses.
The know-it-all?
Yes.
You know what kind of train this is?
He's gonna kick her off the train.
You're gonna kick her off the train.
Oh, gee, that's real too bad. Eddie Deason is obviously, he's known for playing Eugene in Grease. He's also Malvin in War Games. And then he's also the know-it-all kid in Polar Express.
How about that? He just has a nerd voice. That's so sad.
At least he's not in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
Thank God.
that movie sucks.
I hope you have not had the misfortune of seeing it.
Nope, I just have gone on your recommendation that I should not watch it.
No, stay away.
No.
Did you know that they're talking about making a Polar Express sequel?
Oh god, really?
Yes.
Fuck off.
And did you know that the kid who voices the main character is Junie from Spy Kids?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than those, I rewatched a few things. School of Rock, Insidious. Yeah. You know, it exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talked about it, but yeah.
Yeah, it exists. I want them to make
Except
another
for Laverne Cox. Yes, slay.
Oh my gosh, I meant to tell you that too. I was listening to the Divergent episode, and I'm watching Uglies. I couldn't help but think, like, Laverne Cox is like Kate Winslet in Divergent, like, done really well.
Yes.
Like, I actually felt her as like a powerful figure, and she has the sense of like threat. I love Kate Winslet very much. I'm just talking about the writing. I don't think it's a problem with her performance, but also she should have used her British accent. No, it's nothing to do with her. But I think if Janine was played by Laverne Cox, it would be, or if she was written like Laverne Cox is written in this movie, it would be, she'd be so much better as a villain in those movies.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. She was just like, she had something extra that was just like, you better not fuck with me. Yeah.
She just had this presence, and she just commanded like the whole room. She was just incredible. She was probably the best part. She's probably the best part of the movie, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. Do we have an agenda for next week?
Yes, we are going to watch the anime film Magic Tree House based off the book series.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
Do you still want to do that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back next time to talk about that. And that's what it's going to be.
We're going to do that. Yes, thank you.
Until next time.
There can be only one film therapy podcast.
There might be.
And that is ours.
Yeah, there might be others, but
no, it's ours.
It's ours.
Keep therapizing.
Yeah. If you're listening to this on Zeiss and you have the chance to come to Earth, things aren't looking the best right now. So maybe just stay on Zeiss. Keep therapizing.
Keep therapizing.